This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well.
Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2023. I appreciate all of you listening and joining me in 2022 to talk about cars, to find out what's going on in the marketplace. And I'm looking forward to a very full 2023. Really do appreciate you listening and checking in to the Collector Car Podcast. Now, as I've mentioned before, if you would like to reach out to me directly about your car situation, whether or not you're trying to find that dream car or you have to move one somewhere else, feel free to give me a call or email me. You can shoot me an email at Greg at the Collector Car Podcast, or you can go to my website and just hit the contact tab, and you can actually select a day and time in which to talk to me. And this is a free consultation just to kind of talk cars with you, see what your goals are with your collection, and see if I can help you out moving forward. So this episode's all about the big Scottsdale sale, the blue chip cars. I'm curious to see if there's some market changes going on out there. I think we have peaked in the marketplace, but I do want to track the blue chip cars that are going through Scottsdale here shortly, specifically at the RM Sotheby's auction. Now, also coming up, we do have the Amelia Island auction coming up in March. So it's never too soon to get your cars consigned if you're looking for that. I do know RM specifically, they're running out of spots quickly. The auction is Friday, March the 3rd, starts at 4 p.m. What a wonderful week to spend down in Florida, my hometown. Looking forward to going again, and hopefully I'll see a lot of you down there as well. Now, one thing fun that's happening, and now if you haven't watched me on my YouTube channel yet, please join me. Please like and subscribe. I will have a fun game show started here on January the 7th. In person, live, we'll be at the Motor Car Club outside of Cincinnati. So you can go to motorcarclub.com and sign up for this event. But basically, we're taking the auction and bringing it to you. If you're remote, you can join in as well. Just jump on, like I said, my YouTube channel, the Collector Car Podcast. And we're actually going to stream the Mecum Kissimmee sale. I can't actually stream it live on my YouTube channel, but I'll flip through some of the pictures of the cars we're talking about. And we're going to guess what the cars are going to sell for. Hence, guess the hammer. So you're going to guess the hammer price. If you join us on the YouTube channel, just put in your guesses in the chat. And if you're close, I'll give you a shout out live on the air. If you're in person and would like to join, just go to motorcarclub.com, and we will have prizes, some Lift the Cult prizes, which will be a lot of fun, and it will be a great time. I'm hoping to do this once a quarter or so. It's just a fun way to share in the auction experience with friends, and you don't have to have any money on the line. You're just kind of guessing what these cars will sell for. And the fun part about that is we can talk about the cars beforehand and afterwards. So it'll be approximately every third car. We won't do every single car that comes down crosses the block, so to speak. It's just going to be a fun conversation talking about these amazing and cool cars. Now, let's see what's coming up that I want to talk about. Like I said, Arizona is coming up here quickly, and I want to talk about the big blue chip cars. Now, if you go to Hagerty.com, they actually have indexes that show how the collector car marketplace is doing. And right now, it's still very, very hot. As they define it as an expanding market. It's gone down over the last few months, but not a tremendous amount. And part of these indices are different buckets. So one of those buckets would be blue chip collectibles. Now that's everything from 1950s American cars to affordable classics to, like I said, blue chip cars, British cars, Ferraris, German collectibles. So it's a good way to get a pulse on how cars are doing per these different buckets, but also overall for the entire collector car marketplace. Now, what I will say in the blue chip bucket, let me give you a little bit of commentary here, which I think is fairly interesting. All right, so this is for the blue chip cars. There's 25 cars that make up this indice. And like I said, quite a few of these cars are coming to RM Sotheby's Scottsdale auction. So we'll talk about those a little more in depth here in one moment. So the Hagerty market rating has decreased for 3 consecutive months, the first time since March of 2020, which obviously that is when COVID hit the world. So that is why, it hasn't happened since then. So things are changing. As inflation remains high, softening prices across the market have an even greater impact on the rating. Now, this is interesting. The number of cars sold at auction is at an all-time high, but the median sales price dipped enough to give the overall auction activity its largest drop since April of 2021. So a little bit over a year. For the first time since June of 2020, the ratio of insured value increases to decreases dropped for both broad market and high-end vehicles. All right, so it's considered an expanding market, even though in my mind is contracting somewhat. They have a nice little graph. As it goes down, the hottest one is the superheated. Below that is the expanding market. Below that is a flat market. And then it's values decreasing at 25% and then values decreasing at 50%. All right, now there is another quote I'd like to give. This is from Greg Ingold, October 2020. Now this is specifically around the blue chip cars. So after months of little movement, the top of the market experienced a good boost in the third quarter. This is much attributed to a record-breaking Pebble Beach auction week. That's where RM Sotheby's had almost $250 million sold in like 2 nights. It was nuts. Hagerty's Blue Chip Index experienced a 3% boost thanks to overall over half the component vehicles gaining value, while most vehicles posted solid gains. 3 vehicles really stole the show. This is interesting. The biggest mover was a 1973 Porsche 911 Carrera RS, which gained an impressive 26% thanks to a strong showing in Monterey. Toyota 2000 GTs posted a 22% gain thanks to a couple of strong sales in person and online. And it was a similar story with the Ferrari 275 GTB Fords, which increased by 19%. I think I have to call out the Toyota 2000 GTs because I think one of those was a Shelby team car, which is a little bit of an outlier. All right, Greg continues. The biggest question going forward is how much room for growth the top of the market has left. With Monterey behind us and a slower sales season upon us, we may see a leveling off at the top end of the market, at least until the Marathon auctions in January. So this was a quote from October. Now we're headed into January, or we're in January by the time you hear this. So Scottsdale will be very interesting to see how it goes. All right, like I said, for the Blue Chip Index, there's 25 cars, and this goes from a 1948 Tucker 48 to a 1973 Porsche 911 Carrera RS 7.2-liter coupe. Now combined, these cars are up 8.3% the latest 3 months, 13.5 the latest 13 months, and 5.8 the latest 22 months. Now, let's see here. I apologize for the weird months. It's not 6 months. It's not 1 year. It's 2 years. Hagerty changed the timing. They went from 3 times a year to 4 times a year. And so the numbers just don't jive in nice clean breaks like they used to. All right. So here are some of the cars that are coming to RM Sotheby's Arizona sale. I just pulled up their website. There's some cool automobilia that's coming as well. Some Ferrari F40 owner's manuals, 288 GTO owner's manuals. So some cool stuff, as well as a Duesenberg Model J display engine. So some really cool stuff here. But let's start with one of the big blue chip cars. This is probably, I believe it's the star of Scottsdale. Now, this is a 1965 Shelby 427 Competition Cobra. Absolutely stunning Cobra. The estimate on this car is $3 to $3.6 million. Now, this car was one of the ones in the Cobra Caravan, which is unbelievable. There's some period photographs I'm showing right now online, but this is a beautiful, I don't know the blue color. It's your classic Shelby blue with white racing stripes. It's got white side pipes. It's absolutely iconic and gorgeous. Big 427 V8 in there. A true triple threat. The only Cobra to feature on the Cobra Caravan. It was in a major Hollywood movie and in period competition. Utilized by Shelby as a part of their famous Cobra Caravan publicity tour. Documented as Elvis Presley's hero car in the 1966 MGM Studios film Spin Out. So really, really cool. Now, the market trends on the AC Cobra 427 car. Latest 3 months, up 3.7. Latest 13 months, up 7.7. Latest 22 months, up 3.7. Not quite sure where this thing was photographed, but if it was in someone's garage, it is absolutely stunning. So, I'm a big Shelby fan. I just absolutely love these cars. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, next, kind of same period, but kind of the opposite formula. So this is a 1971 Lamborghini Miura P400 SV. Now the estimate on this car is $3 to $3.5 million. Now this is a true SV, one of only 150 examples built. Now what's really cool about this particular car is the color combination. So for a layman like me, I'll say it's dark blue, but I know it's a fancier color than that. All right, let's see. Retains number matching chassis, engine, and body. Desirably equipped with air conditioning and split sump lubrication system. Handsome color combination of blue note over light gray. So it's a wonderful color combination. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in this color. Absolutely stunning. Has a, let's see, reportedly fully restored. Very nice presentation here. 3 months change up 16.4%. 13-month change up 31.5%. And 22-month change, let's say 2-year change, up 57.8%. The light gray with blue carpet is absolutely stunning, and dark blue exterior. This thing is outstanding. All right, next, another blue chip car that's coming up to ARM Sotheby's sale. The 1967 Corvette Stingray 425 cubic inch, 435 horsepower coupe. This is my favorite year Corvette. I just talked about it on our pop-up headlights. It's actually, the Corvette has the longest running pop-up headlights in production history, 41 years, I believe. But this one is stunning. Estimate on this one's to 125 to 175. This one is offered without reserve. Factory correct restoration, NCRS top flight award winner. That's the kind of stuff you want to hear on a car like this. It's good wood green over black interior. I didn't like dark green cars until I had my 66 Mustang, and now I absolutely love them. Desirable options including off-road exhaust, posi traction 4.11 rear end. That is a dragster right there. And Starburst bolt-on alloy wheels. Now this is fascinating. The 3-month trend, this speaks to the overall market conditions slowing down and possibly declining. On this particular car is down 11.2%. The 13-month change is up 19%, and the 22-month change up 21.5%. So we're seeing a decline in the latest 3 months on the big 427, 435 horsepower C2 Corvettes. So maybe I can finally afford one. Let's just let these things keep on going down in price. All right, next. Now, this example I have from ARM Sotheby's is not one of the blue chip cars, but it's related to one of them. So the blue chip version of this is a 1969 Plymouth GTX Hemi convertible. So it's a Hemi convertible, which is why I picked it. It's triple black. It's really, really cool. The estimate on this car is $190,000 to $225,000. Again, offered without reserve. A genuine factory 426 Hemi V8 GTX, benefiting from a previous high-quality restoration. Believed to be one of only 5 Hemi 4-speed convertibles produced in the 1969 model year. All right. So the car I'm relating this to is the big dog. It's the big 426 CUDA convertible, which trade for millions of dollars because there's only like 11 of them or something crazy like that. So on the blue chip Mopar, 3 months up 7.7%, 13 months up 12%, and get this, 22 months up 100%. Now, Little Bird told me that's kind of an interesting fact or group of cars there because there's so few of them, and that actually one collector has like half of them. So interesting. But this is a great way to get the 426 Hemi 4-speed in a convertible. Like I said, the estimate was $190,000 to $225,000. Really good looking. I'm not a Mopar fan, but well, I like all cars. It would not be my first choice, but this one is quite nice. All right, next is one of the cars I dream of having in my garage, and I'm actually studying them quite extensively to help judge at Cavallino Classic next year, or 2023. It's the 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB4. Estimate on this one is $3,000 to $3.5 million. This is a beautiful silver car with black interior. Let's see. This is the 203rd of 330 examples built. Just 4 dedicated caretakers from new, including a 45-year period of single-family ownership. Wow. Let's see. 2017 engine rebuild. Largely original and well-preserved example presented in its original color combination. All right. 3 months change is up 16.4%. 13-month up 18.5%. And 22-month up 28%. Now, a little fun, interesting fact about these. You can tell if it's a long nose versus a short nose. The short nose, if the little Ferrari emblem is in the grill, in the egg crate grill in the front, that means it's a short nose because it had room. When they stretched the front bonnet of the hood out, the whole wheelbase out just a little bit, it actually shrunk the grill opening down where they did not fit that little Ferrari emblem. So the easiest way to tell between a long nose and a short nose 275 GTB. All right, next is another blue chip car here. This is the 1958 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Roadster. I will do a recap of how these cars performed in Scottsdale in a few weeks, just so that we do see, how much have these trends changed. All right, this one's really, really cool. This estimate's $1.7 to $1.9 million. Numbers matching engine, gearbox, and body. Restored in 2011. Finished in an attractive medium blue metallic over a dark red interior. Now, I've often said that Europeans can really pull off the dark blue with red interior a lot better than we can in the U.S. I've seen a 1968 Mustang that was blue with red interior, and it looked horrible. All right, this one has all the little accessories with it. The 3-month change is up 7.7%, 13-month 23.5%, 22 months 20%. So if you're still out there looking for a 300 SL around $1 million, I think that boat has sailed about a year and a half ago. These things keep on going, and like I said, it's a blue chip car, so why wouldn't it? All right, our last blue chip car. Before we get on to some other cool cars from RM Sotheby's Scottsdale auction is a 1956 Porsche 356A 1600 Super Speedster. Now the estimate on this car is $275,000 to $325,000. This is one that is offered without reserve. These are really, really cool. This one does have the potent super engine, beautifully restored in excellent colors. It's black with a black top and dark red interior. Latest 3 months up 15.2%, 13 month 18.1%, and 22 months up 8.8%. So that's a really cool little car. Very, very cool. All right, I'm going to call out a couple other cool cars that are at the Scottsdale auction, and then I'll get to what I would call the next generation of blue chip cars. Just a few of them. We probably have about 7 more cars to go here. This next one is really cool. It's a one of one. A 1953 Fiat 8V, also known as Autovu Coupe by Ghia. Now the estimate on this one is $1.1 to $1.3 million. Let's see, an exquisitely presented, one-of-a-kind example of Fiat's celebrated post-war performance jewel. Unique one-off aluminum alloy coachwork designed by Virgil Exner in Buono. Now, that is a lot. I mean, that just the fact that it's a one-off design, it's a Ghia, one of 15 8V chassis distributed by Ghia, and the only one not completed as a supersonic. I love supersonics. I think those things are so cool. If you have a supersonic, this is a car you definitely want. It's the only one in the world. What a great addition to any collection. All right, let's see. Established ownership history dating back to 1957. It's been shown at the Quail, Villa de Estes, and 2 Pebble Beach Concord Elegance events. All sorts of cool history to this car. There's like 4 volumes of documentation on how special of a car this is, and a lot of really cool period photos. All right, next I got to talk about a Duesenberg. So this is a 1931 Duesenberg Model J convertible sedan by LeBaron. Now this estimate is $1 to $1.3 million. It was formerly owned by the Peterson Museum, so that has quite the provenance to it. Very rare coachwork on short wheelbase chassis. It's a Classic Car Club of America Full Classic. Very beautiful. It's kind of a red, dark red bottom and dark brown interior. Really stunning combination. And it's a four-door, so that's pretty cool. The kind of a four-door convertible. If I had this car, I don't think I would ever put the top down, just because I know they're kind of a nightmare to put back up. All right, next, and you rarely see these cars with the exception of some very high-end concourse fields. It's the 1952 Pegaso Z102 Berlinetta. Estimate on this one's $550 to $650. Now, how to describe this car? I would almost like call it, picture like an AC Cobra that has a hard top and then it's kind of stretched to cartoonish proportions. That sounds like an insult, but it's not. It is really super cool. If you can ever see a Pegaso in person, they are very, very cool looking, and they're front engine V8 cars. Estimate on this one's $550,000 to $650,000. One of only 83 Z102 chassis produced, one of 11 to wear this particular coachwork. Let's see, retained by the factory until 1955, used in motorsport and as a supercharging test bed, attached or equipped with an advanced number matching alloy block, dry sump, 2.8 liter double overhead cam, V8. Very, very cool. This is a Spanish sports car, something you just don't see often, and I think they are super, super cool. I've only seen maybe two in my entire life, and there's one coming to Sotheby's Scottsdale auction. All right, that's it for the older cars. We're going to talk about the next gen blue chip cars. Now, these are some of our favorites. The first one here is one that I had the pleasure of revving up at Scottsdale last year. It's on my YouTube Shorts video, but it's a 2005 Porsche Carrera GT, the CGT. Estimate on this one is $1.2 to $1.4 million, offered without reserve. Let's see, one of only 644 U.S. delivered Carrera GTs. Stunning seal gray over terracotta leather interior. That's a great color combination. A little less than 13,000 miles on it. Very, very cool car. These have been going through the roof recently. Seems like they slowed down here, and with an estimate of 1.2 to 1.4, to me that's right on the money. I would expect it to hammer right in there somewhere. All right, next, these have really been climbing recently. The 1999 Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster. These VTs seem to be the ones to have. And as the Countaches go absolutely insane, people are definitely going after these VTs or the Diablos. And from someone who I spoke to that has both of them, and they've had both of them for years, the Diablo, while it's largely based on the Countache's chassis and everything, is so much better of a car to drive. Ergonomics are better. Everything's better about the Diablo, and they're absolutely stunning. So this one's $425 to $475. It's a beautiful silver with black interior. Let's see, showing less than 19,000 miles on it. Titanium silver over black leather upholstery. It has the factory rear spoiler, 18-inch chrome Oz racing wheels, which look beautiful. And it's got the it's a roadster, so you take the top out. It's about the perfect Diablo in my book. All right, the next one I know very well, 2012 Lexus LFA. Not because it's my car, I sure wish it was, but it is a client's car. This one's $700,000 to $800,000. Red on red, absolutely stunning car. Number 75, just of 436 examples built. This one is a one-on-one color combination featuring absolutely red exterior and uniquely specified full leather cabin. Now, this one has always been owned by dealer principals, Lexus dealer principals. So typically that means, the owner of the dealership since new. So great provenance on this car. If you go to my Instagram channel, I think it's in the reels. I did capture this one while it was being photographed, being revved. That V12 is just something incredible to hear. And I had to follow it to the photo shoot. And it's not like you can only hear it when it reaches over, 4,000 RPMs. You can hear that sucker the whole way, just driving through traffic. It sounded wicked. Really, really cool. And these have been going up quite a bit lately. the last of the analog supercars, and this is definitely one of them. All right, our last blue chip next-gen car is another Porsche. It's a 1987 Porsche 959 Comfort. That's Comfort with a K. Estimate on this one's $1.6 to $2 million. One of only 292 standard production examples. Let's see, Grand Prix white over dark blue leather interior. That's a nice combination. You don't see that often. Numbers matching engine, 444 horsepower. Wow, the dark blue is so dark it actually looks black in these pictures. 2.85 liter twin turbocharged flat 6-cylinder engine. All right, so this is a cool one to have. The colors look great. I think white's pretty iconic when you're looking at a 959. Very, very nice. All right. As a reminder, you can reach me at thecollectorcarpodcast.com for your free consultation. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. And I will talk to all of you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Collector Car Podcast. Don't forget to give us a nice rating on iTunes and be sure to follow us on Instagram and everywhere else at the Collector Car Podcast.